name's Scott. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the pump carts which I received from www.e-cigwizard.com. Before I start, I must point out I did receive them free of charge for the purpose of conducting a review. My opinion of the product remains true, honest and accurate as always. Okay, so let's go straight ahead and show them in a bit more detail. Okay, so here we have a pump cart, which is basically like a tank which you fill up with your e-liquid. On the front here you have a little rubber cap, and just in the cap you have a little piece of polyester wool, and on the top here you have a button which you use obviously pump. Now the idea behind this is that you attach this to your 510 atomizer, and then every time you sort of want to have a vape, you press the or you pump the button, and then that will release a few drops of e-liquid which will drop onto your atomizer, and you can vape that to basically sort of create the same experience as direct dripping. But it doesn't really work quite like that, if I'm totally honest. And probably the best way is for me to actually demonstrate that. So what I do is I'll fill it up with e-liquid now. So you just got to remove this little rubber cap. And like I said there, hopefully you can see, you know, it's just a little cap that's got some sort of polyester wool in it, and the actual tank is empty. Then you get your e-liquid. I've just got some, like a sample bottle of a new type of menthol, so I'm just going to sort of fill that up. I'm not too sure exactly how much e-liquid these take, but I'm guessing it's going to be around sort of 1.5 millilitres, something like that. Might be a little bit more, not too sure. But I've just been filling it up just to sort of leave a little bit of a gap at the top there. And then you take your cap, and then that just goes back in place, like so. And so, like I said, you know, you're going to then attach that to your 510 atomizer, and then you know, you're going to pump this, and then a drop of e-liquid is going to come out. Now it does work in that sense, but let me just demonstrate. You're going to be pumping all day long to be able to get a decent enough drop coming out of that. Hopefully I can I'm just starting to get a slight drop forming now. Still pumping, still pumping, still pumping. And well, I think you can sort of get my point. The point is that, you know, if you're going to hope that it's going to sort of just drip out just by pressing it once, then you're going to be quite disappointed. However, like I said, you know, it doesn't really work in the way which we're probably sort of led to believe or hope it would work. However, there is another method you can use, and you can get a really good vaping experience out of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to attach this to my, using a Galileo here, and with a, just like well, it is a low resistance 510 atomizer. And the best way to obviously for me to demonstrate this is to probably, you know, just go ahead and actually vape it. Yeah, so let's go ahead and give it a good vape. Okay, so that is the pump carts. Now, like I said in those close-up shots, you know, they don't really work by, you know, you press the button once or twice and a couple of drops sort of you know, drip out and fall onto your atomizer, and you can start vaping. Because these are basically sort of meant to be sort of like mimicking the act of sort of direct dripping without you actually having to sort of physically get your bottle of e-liquid out, take the atomizer or take the cartridge or the drip tip off, and then drip your e-liquid. It's meant to be sort of like an even lazier way of doing it, basically. But you know, you can keep on pumping that little button all day long, and you know, you're just going to be there forever before you get a decent amount of liquid come out of it. But like I said, there is another method that you can use to actually get these working really nicely. And it's not something that I've come up with myself. You know, if you look on YouTube, on the forums, there's plenty of other people who've sort of stumbled across this method as well. And I suppose the easiest way for me to sort of demonstrate it is to actually sort of obviously show you it. Now I've got a low resistance 510 atomizer here on my Provari, and obviously I've got my pump cart. Now this atomizer is pretty much completely bone dry, like a, well, there's a little bit of vapour in there, but you can probably see this. Hopefully you can see anyway. You know, it's glowing sort of red dot at the moment because there's hardly any juice on there, and it tastes pretty rank as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the pump cart to it, and it just show you, just to sort of try and obviously show you how well it does actually work when you use this method. So that atomizer is pretty much, you know, completely bone dry. So the method is basically you press and hold a little button down, and then take a couple of drags and that suction then forces some of the e-liquid onto the atomizer, which I suppose is very similar to as in you know, pressing the button and waiting for it to drop out. Apart from this is obviously a hell of a lot, it basically speeds up the whole process. So I will give you a blast on that. So once again, this is without me sort of pressing the button. Pretty, well, that's awful. Okay, so I'm going to press the button and do I'm going to do sort of 2 inhales. And hopefully that'll be enough to actually sort of get a slight vape now. And as you can see, you know, straight away, you know, we've got plenty of vape there. I'm going to do another 2 because obviously you've got to bear in mind that this is a completely bone dry atomizer. Now once this has been, you know, got enough sort of e-liquid like in reserve, then literally all I need to do is every time I start noticing the vapour fading or the flavour fading, I just do 2 of those and I'm good to go for about another sort of 10 or 12 sort of inhales. I'm going to do another 2 now because, like I said, that atomizer was bone dry and it's still got that slight sort of funky taste to it. That's it, I can actually hear the e-liquid bubbling in there now, so there should be plenty. So as you can see, you know, it's gone from being, you know, pretty much completely and utterly bone dry, that atomizer. And it does prove that, you know, if you use that method, then they do work, you know, really effectively. I've not had any sort of leaking problems out of it at all. It just seems to sort of work quite nicely as long as you use that sort of, you know, press the button and take a couple of drags. If you want to use it, pressing the button, you're going to be there all day long. You know, they're not going to really sort of revolutionise the way that we vape, but you know, for people who like direct dripping, who are very lazy and they don't want the hassle of taking the cartridge off, dripping a few drops and putting the cartridge back on there, or the drip tip, then you know, these are I'm sure they'll really like them. And I do think you are getting the very much the same experience as if you are direct dripping, with the amount of flavour that you're getting through there. Like this is how I'm using the a menthol flavour, and I'm getting absolutely tons of flavour as though I was just you know, properly direct dripping. Not a great deal else I can really sort of tell you about them. You know, they do work, and if you're provided you use that sort of, you know, two drag sort of technique, and if you fancy trying them out for yourself, go along to www.e-cigwizard.com, type in this code at checkout, and they'll give you a 12.5% discount every time you purchase from them. Thank you very much for watching, and also come along and visit my website at www.e-cig-reviews.com. That's e-cig-reviews.com. Cheers guys, happy vaping, see you later.